Now let's talk about the power to issue or sell stocks and admit members. Well, the power to issue or sell stocks, that's only for stock corporations. The power to admit members, that is for non-stock corporations. So a stock corporation, by its definition, can issue shares, okay, to, of course, to gather capital, to increase its capital so that it can achieve its purpose. Now, this power, okay, is subject, of course, to legal and SEC requirements. Now, there is a penalty for unauthorized issuance of shares. So, dapat may imprimatur ang SEC so that the corporation can issue shares. A usual example of this, if a corporation, aims at expanding itself in order to, generate capital for this project, it needs to, or it may, okay, issue additional shares. Okay? Para may investors, lalaki yung capital niya for that purpose of expansion. Okay? Another power, engage in transactions involving real and personal property. So corporations can deal with real and personal property. In other words, a corporation can buy, sell, lease, mortgage, or dispose a property for as long as it's in line with its business or it is necessary for its business. So a real estate corporation may purchase land for development. In the case of Riosa versus Tabaco, La Suerte Corporation, so the corporation purchased a real property. But take note, this corporate action, the exercise of corporate action must again be backed up by a board action. So hindi pwedeng ma-exercise ng mga powers na to kung walang approval from the board. So purchasing a real property must be approved by the board and authorized through a board resolution. Another power, okay, to a corporation may enter into partnerships, joint ventures, and other commercial agreements. So corporations can form partnerships or joint ventures to expand their business. So anong ibig sabihin nito? Anong ibig sabihin ng power na to? So yung mga individuals in a partnership could be corporation. So individuals in a partnership could be a corporation. So hindi naman necessarily na natural persons lang ang pwedeng pumasok sa partnership. Corporations can enter into partnerships or joint ventures. Now, there is a prohibition, okay, for a corporation to enter into a partnership with a natural person. So what is allowed by law is for corporation to enter into a partnership with another corporation, as when a domestic corporation will enter into a joint venture with a foreign company for a new project to develop. And then a corporation may make reasonable donations for public welfare. Corporations can donate, but it has limitations. Donations must be for public welfare or charity, not for political activities. So, for example, a corporation may donate to a disaster relief fund. So, take note of that. Corporations can donate with this limitation. Must be for public welfare. And lastly, under express general powers, you have the power to establish pension and retirement plans for its employees. Corporations can set up pension and retirement benefits for employees, directors, and officers. This is part of responsible corporate governance. For sustainability also in the corporation. So employees who are working for the corporation will be, motivated to stay in that corporation, perform their work well, okay, because of, a retirement fund for them. So those are the general express powers of the corporation. Now let's talk about the specific powers of the corporation. Okay, the power to extend or shorten corporate term. So a corporation can extend or shorten its corporate term. Okay, that is outlined in Section 36, which provides the process for extending or shortening a corporate term. So how does a corporation extend its term? This one, by the approval of a majority vote of the board of directors or trustees, ratification at a meeting by stockholders or members representing at least two-thirds of the outstanding capital stock or membership. So if you look at the process, you need twin requirements: an action from the board, approval by the board, and ratification. Ratification. So kung may board action, extension requires ratification by the stockholders or members. How about shortening? Ganun rin. You need a board action, meaning a majority vote of the directors or trustees of the board must approve that shortening. And also, you need ratification by the stockholders or members. And the voting requirement is two-thirds, at least two-thirds, okay, of the outstanding capital stock or the membership. So let's ask this question. What are the legal requirements and implications of extending or shortening a corporate term? Legal basis, Section 36 of the RCC, which provides the framework, the process for extending or shortening corporate term. Under this provision, it's required to have board approval, that's one, and stockholder or membership ratification, that's number two. So if a corporation anticipates, for example, a significant market opportunity that requires a longer operational timeline, so kailangan nilang i-extend to avail or to get that opportunity, it may opt to extend its corporate term. So the board must first approve this decision, followed by a ratification meeting with stockholders. So yung twin requirement, you need approval by the board first, and then ratification by the stockholders or members. Now, what if the corporation deems it necessary to shorten its corporate life? Ganun rin yung process. You need board approval and ratification from the stockholders. Increase or decrease capital stock. Okay, so the corporation can increase or decrease its capital stock. Well, of course, a corporation will decide to increase or decrease in response to business needs, market conditions, or strategic objectives. So it's really a business decision to increase or decrease capital stock. But how can a corporation do this? Under Section 37, it says, no corporation shall increase or decrease its capital stock or incur, create, or increase any bonded indebtedness unless it's approved by the board through majority vote and ratified by stockholders through at least two-thirds vote of the outstanding capital stock. And aside from this, there must be a written notice of the proposed action sent to all, providing the time and place of the meeting. So basically, the requirements are the same. Kailangan ng board approval and stockholder ratification with an additional requirement of a written notice. Incur, create, or a bonded indebtedness. So this power is again in line with the need to increase capital for corporate operations. So like all business entities, one way of increasing funds is by borrowing. So corporations, in order to raise funds, may issue bonds. So mag-issue ng bond ang corporation to the public So the public will give money to the corporation and the corporation promises to pay these loans or debts to the public within a certain period of time at a certain interest. Now, these bonds are securities. They are debt securities which obligate the corporation to repay the borrowed amount with interest. So, umuutang ang corporation sa public, uutang yan. That agreement is documented or evidenced by these corporate bonds. So at a later time, the corporation will repay these persons with interest. Pero dapat very cautious ang corporation pag mag-issue siya ng bonds. Titignan dapat ng corporation kung kaya niya and kung mamimit ng corporation yung goal niya through this issuance of bonds. This usually happens, yung pag-issue ng bonds, yung pag-utang sa public. Okay? This usually happens when a corporation would like to finance expansion, operations, and other significant expenditures without diluting ownership through equity financing. If a corporation will borrow funds, hindi na apektuhan yung capital structure niya, meaning yung equity structure niya. Kasi hindi naman dumadami yung stockholders or members. So a corporation increases its funds through the loans it incurs from other people. So how can a corporation, issue bonds, create or increase bonded indebtedness? Under Section 37, sabi dito, for a corporation to incur, create, or increase bonded indebtedness, that action must be approved by the board through majority vote and also ratified or approved by the stockholders representing at least 2/3 of the outstanding capital stock, as well as there must be a written notice of the proposed action to the stockholders. So same requirement as in the previous exercise of power. So you can see now the trend here. So pag specific express powers, you need board approval, majority vote, and ratification or approval from the stockholders or members representing at least 2/3 of the outstanding capital stock or members. A corporation can also deny preemptive right. What is a preemptive right? Under Section 38, says all stockholders of stock corporations enjoy the preemptive right to subscribe to all issues or dispositions or of shares of any class. So kung you are a stockholder at mag-issue ng stocks ang corporation, may preemptive right ka. Okay? You will be given the priority to subscribe to these issues or dispositions of the corporation for you to retain your interest in the corporation. Hindi pwedeng unahin ng iba, dapat may preemptive right yung mga existing stockholders. So this provision allows corporations to tailor their capital structure and ownership dynamics according to their strategic needs. Now, questions. Ba't kaya kung minsan a corporation would choose to deny the preemptive rights of stockholders? And what implications does this have for minority shareholders? Well, under Section 38, the corporation can deny preemptive rights to change the capital structure. And the reason behind that is, well, there are strategic needs. So for example, hindi pwedeng very dominant lang tong isang stockholder as his dominance may have an effect on the corporate governance. Kailangan siguro na i-diversify yung ownership sa corporation. That's why a corporation may deny preemptive rights. So for example, a corporation may issue new shares to a strategic partner without offering them to existing shareholders. Now, this could happen if the articles of incorporation explicitly deny preemptive rights. Now, this corporate action can facilitate partnerships that are crucial for corporations' growth. Another example, if a corporation needs to raise capital quickly and the board of directors believes that existing shareholders may not be able to provide the necessary funds, they may opt to issue shares to new investors provided that two-thirds of the existing shareholders approve this action. Now, just like in the preceding powers, pag denial of preemptive right, you need board approval and also approval by the stockholders representing at least two-thirds of the OCS or by the members. Sell, dispose, lease, encumber property and assets, another specific power. Now, bago makapagbenta or dispose ng corporation, you need these things. Authorization requirement. The sale or disposition must be approved by stockholders or members, ensuring that the interests of shareholders are protected. And then you have the substantial asset definition. A sale is considered to cover substantially all the corporate property if it renders the corporation incapable of continuing its business or accomplishing its corporate purpose. Usually the question here sa bar exam, disposition of all or substantially all corporate assets or property is this one. What do you mean by substantial? Substantial yung disposition if it will render the corporation incapable of continuing its business or accomplishing its corporate purpose. So, for example, if the assets of the corporation is 100 million, pero ang ibebenta mo lang is 10%. Okay? So, 10 million. But that 10 million represents the machinery used by the corporation to produce the remaining 80% or 90% of the assets. Kung yan ang ibebenta mo, then that is considered a disposition of substantially all corporate property as it will render the corporation incapable of continuing its business. Conversely, kahit na ibenta mo yung 90% of the assets of the corporation, let's say lahat ng na-manufacture na mga sasakyan, that is not considered a sale of substantially all because it will not render the corporation incapable. Kabaliktaran nga pag nabenta mo yung na-produce mong, na-manufacture mong mga sasakyan, that will help the corporation to grow. Okay. Now, why do we need to be cautious with this concept of substantial asset? Not all dispositions of the corporation require approval of the board and ratification by the stockholders and members. If the disposition is not a disposition of all or substantially all corporate property, hindi mo na kailangan ng ratification by the stockholders or members. Yang requirement na yan, kailangan lang if the disposition will render the corporation incapable of continuing its business operations. Purchase or acquire own shares. Okay, another specific power that is in section 40, which states that the stock corporation may purchase or acquire its own shares for legitimate corporate purposes. And the keyword here, pag mag-purchase ng sarili niyang shares, it must have unrestricted retained earnings recorded in its books to cover that purchase. Kung walang unrestricted retained earnings ang corporation, it cannot purchase or acquire its own shares as it will violate the trust fund doctrine. Okay, again, what do we mean by unrestricted retained earnings? That is now the surplus profit of the corporation and beyond the expenses of the corporation. Why does a corporation need to purchase its own shares? This the corporation has legitimate purpose, like when there are fractional shares. Bilhin niya na lang yan para matanggal yung fractional shares. In case of debts, to settle debts. And also, if there are dissenting shareholders, to compensate them. That's why the corporation will acquire its own shares. And lastly, power to invest in another corporation, business, or any other purposes. So what are the conditions before a corporation can invest its funds in another corporation? Section 41 provides the rule. Private corporation may invest its funds in other corporations or for any purpose different from its primary purpose, provided that, number one, there is board approval. Okay? Number two, there is ratification from the stockholders or members. And number three, there is notice to stockholders or members. So you see that this power, the process in exercising this power is again similar to the other specific powers. Board approval, ratification by stockholders, and written notification. Board approval, ano yung vote na kailangan? Majority. Ratification by stockholders or members, at least 2/3. Okay? So that's the common denominator sa specific powers, exercise of specific powers. Then you have the power to declare dividends. Okay? Corporation, stock corporation, okay, have the power to declare dividends. Yan ang nag-e-engganyo sa mga stockholders na maging stockholders. So, question, what are the conditions under which dividends can be declared? Kailan ba dapat mag-declare ng dividends ang corporation? Okay. Second question, how does the availability of unrestricted retained earnings affect the director's decision making? And third, what legal precedents clarify the limitations and responsibilities associated with declaring dividends? Kailan dapat mag-declare ng dividends ang board? Under Section 43, the board of directors of a stock corporation may declare dividends only out of unrestricted retained earnings. So yung mga surplus profits ng corporation, dyan lang pwede mag-declare ng dividends. Kung walang unrestricted retained earnings ang corporation, the corporation cannot declare dividends. Okay? If the corporation has no sufficient retained earnings, it is prohibited for it to declare dividends. Now, hindi naman automatic na porket may available unrestricted retained earnings ang corporation, meron ng dividends. The board must assess, okay, the corporation's statements and see if it should declare, okay, dividends. If the corporation is operating at a deficit or has restricted retained earnings due to loan agreements or other obligations, okay, it cannot. Now, can you compel the board of directors to, can the stockholders compel the board of directors to issue dividends or to declare dividends? Well, rule is hindi. Okay, that's a general rule. Corporation, the stockholders cannot compel the directors to declare dividends. Exception, if you have unrestricted retained earnings that is more than 100% of the available funds. Exception to the exception, kung more than 100%, pero there is a legitimate move for the expansion of the business in case of emergency. Kahit madami ang unrestricted retained earnings, the board cannot be compelled to declare dividends. We will talk more about this when we speak about the proprietary rights of stockholders. And lastly, enter into management contract. This is a specific power of the corporation mentioned in Section 43, which allows corporations to delegate management functions to another entity, thereby enhancing operational efficiency and expertise in specific areas of business. So pag sinabi mo kasing management contract, it means that the power of the corporation is not directly exercised by the board, but the board delegates it to another person. Ngayon tanong, ba't kailangan pumasok sa management contract ang isang, well, answer is efficiency. Okay, operational efficiency. Okay, the corporation may choose set of individuals who can perform the work more efficiently than when it's the board itself that does the work. Minsan, mas marami pang income ang pupunta sa corporation under this setup, as will the directors for, or it will unburden the directors with the performance of these functions that could be done by other persons. So pwedeng pumasok sa ganito ang corporation. But take note of these rules, and then under section 43, no corporation shall conclude a management contract unless it's approved by the board and approved by stockholders owning at least a majority of the outstanding capital stock, or for non-stock corporations by members representing at least majority of them. A majority pala to. So for management contract, majority ang rule. So in sum, pag specific powers ng pinag-uusapan, don't forget about the twin requirement at yung mas mataas na voting requirement, approval by the board and approval by the stockholders or members, 2/3. They will continue with the other powers next meeting.